As you can see, there is a puddle of water here. It appears to come from the head gasket right there on the seam. What's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to continue to work on the E36. As you have seen in the previous one, I got a major breakthrough with the turbo. Finally the turbo is no more leaking and it's functioning right, at least for now, with the car in the garage. When I drive it will be the real test, but we found out fortunately that it has a coolant leak somewhere in the engine bay around this area right here. Right now, when I arrived to the garage today, I noticed that it's leaking. The water is coming down from a different place that it was earlier. So I will start by disassembling all this area right here to take a better look down the engine to see where the leak is coming from. Also, as you have seen, I changed my shifter to a short shifter. That is looking pretty good, besides the fact that I will have to glue it, the shifter knob on. That is the only bad side of it, but it will still look pretty good. But as of right now, guys, let's start this video and get to work. Guys, we are right now under the car. As you can see, there is a puddle of water here. I did not yet put the antifreeze on, so it is just water. But this is where the leak is falling down right now. So yesterday the leak was coming from here, this place here where the transmission meets the oil pan. Now the water is coming from this, the subframe. As you can see, that is two water droplets right here. I don't know where it's coming from. I'll have to check into that. I have tried to see where the water comes from, but I'm not able to see. There is two drops of water right there on the oil pan, so the water must be coming from up there. So what I'll do is start disassemble all of that on the top engine to see where it is coming from. A couple of minutes later, and the intake manifold is out. As you can see, let me get the flashlight. The water appears to come from the head gasket right there on the seam, but I don't think that is the issue. I think it's simpler, and hopefully I am right. This tube right here, it was leaking water. Hopefully the water was leaking from the tube and going all the way over the seam to the back of the engine and dripping down from the transmission where it meets the engine. Hopefully that is the cause. I already taken out the tube, put it back in and tighten as much as I can this clamp right here. Hopefully that will solve the issue. So now let's get to assemble all this so I can fire up the car and see if the issue is solved. Guys, finally some good news. I have managed to stop the leak, the coolant leak. After all, it was only that hose that was a little loose. I don't know what happened there, but I run the car to temp, to its right temperature, and no leaks. The only leaks that I found are all the old water that was on the engine and on that area, and some drops of oil also from what was already on the engine because of the turbo leak. That has spilled out a lot of oil, and the engine is all dirty. It needs to be cleaned as soon as possible. Also, it has a small leak on a little hose that is the return hose for the oil that comes out of the turbo into the oil pan. I'm gonna replace that. It's not too big of a deal. It's just the hose that is old and it's a little brittle, so it is leaking. I'm gonna replace that later. Now, I was thinking that I'm not gonna do anything else but get this car ready to take it for a spin so I can test the engine to the limit and see if it has any more failure points and go from there. So guys, let's get this car on the ground with the essential parts in so I can get it on the road. It's actually the next day. The car is on its wheels, so now I have already started the car, moved it a little bit, but I noticed that the steering is not right. That is because the fluid is too low and there is a lot of air in the system, because I've taken out a lot of times the cooling lines that are right here on the front of the car. So now what I'm gonna do is I already went to the store and bought a liter of ATF fluid, so I'm gonna top it out. I will try to drain as much of the old one as I can, then I'm gonna top it out, steer the car a few times with the engine off, and then try to start the car and see if the pump is functioning right again. So let's get that job done. Guys, I'm finally finished with the steering system. So I have changed the fluid. It was very difficult to get the hose out of the steering fluid recipient. I could not manage to get that out. I found another way to get the fluid out and poured in the new one, and the car is functioning perfectly and at the steering level. I don't know when I put it on the ground if it will function the same. I hope it will, because with the wheels up, the steering pump was making a noise, and now the noise is gone. So I hope that will solve the problem with the steering. Now I have another problem with the steering. That is a different problem. I don't know how that's happened. Let me show you. As you can see, the steering wheel is straight. This wheel is a little bit off. It's turning to the left. On this side, the wheel is straight. I don't know if it was already like this. I did not notice it earlier, but now it is. I'm gonna try to adjust the tie rod to see if I can get it aligned straight forward and see. And if that works, we're gonna put the hood on the car and get it to the road. Before I get started with the job of the wheels, as you have seen, I have changed the oil filter and all the seals. Unfortunately, that did not solve the problem with the light on the dash, the oil pressure light. So the next thing is to change the oil to a thicker one to see if that will solve it. I find that problem a little strange because the car is functioning right, it's perfect. The car is functioning all right. I do not see how that light is still on. It's only on when the car is idle. If I put the pedal, if I accelerate the car, the light disappears. I don't know what's going on there, but the next thing I will try is to put a thicker oil to see if that solves the problem, but that will be later. I'm gonna test the car on the road. Hopefully it will go all right. That does not cause a problem. Let's see. But now let's get started with fixing the wheel alignment problem and go from there, guys. So let's go. Guys, that's it. The car is ready for the road. As you have seen, I tried to align this wheel. Unfortunately, I do not have the tools for that, so that will be done later. Then move on to the rear bumper. It's all assembled. The front hood as well. It's all assembled and ready to go. Also bleed the brakes. The brakes were not very good, so I bleed both front brakes and now are perfect. And in the next episode, guys, we're gonna start with a ride in the car, and then move on from there. If all goes well, we're gonna go to the aesthetic part, and the car will be finished as soon as possible. So guys, I hope you have liked it. Please leave a like and a sub. It helps the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.